Room 6. The Innkeeper's Curse. Elena and Marcus had spent weeks preparing for their backpacking trip through the countryside. There was joy in discovering remote trails, ancient ruins, and hidden villages seemingly stuck in time. They thrived on the excitement of the unknown, on the possibility of uncovering something extraordinary. Late one night, after trudging along a desolate dirt road shaded by towering trees whispering in the wind, they came across an inn. A golden glow pierced through the darkness, a single light shining from a quaint, aged building perched on the forest's edge. Marcus grinned and elbowed Elena. "Looks like we found our place to rest for the night." It was rustic yet charming, ivy climbing its wooden walls. Above the door hung a crooked sign that read "The Hollow Hearth Inn." Yet, despite its picturesque appearance, a chill crawled up Elena's spine as she stared at it. Stepping inside, the air was heavy, and the warm glow of the fireplace barely eased the unease pressing down on Elena's chest. From the shadows behind the front desk emerged the innkeeper, a woman with sharp features framed by iron-gray hair. Her cold, unblinking gaze lingered on Elena a moment too long before shifting to Marcus. "Welcome," she rasped, her voice gravely. "Just passing through, I presume?" "Yes," Marcus said cheerfully. "Do you have a room for the night?" The woman hesitated, the corners of her mouth curling into a forced smile. "Room 6 is available," she said, pulling a rusted key from a drawer. As she handed it to Marcus, she muttered, "Couples don't stick around here." "What was that?" Elena asked, frowning. "Nothing," the woman replied quickly, her smile vanishing. "Enjoy your stay." The room in the mirror, room 6, was modest yet cozy, with a creaky four-poster bed, a small dresser, and a large ornate mirror mounted on the wall opposite the bed. The mirror's frame was intricately carved with strange symbols neither of them recognized. Elena ran her fingers over the carvings. "Weird, isn't it?" she mused. Marcus shrugged, already collapsing onto the bed. "Just an old mirror. Let's get some sleep." Exhausted, they fell into a deep sleep. But in the dead of night, Elena awoke to the sound of heavy, deliberate footsteps echoing in the hallway. "Marcus," she whispered, nudging him. He didn't stir. The footsteps stopped outside their door. A soft knock followed. "Hello?" Elena called out, her voice trembling. No response. The knock came again, louder this time, then again, and again, each strike more forceful than the last until the door rattled in its frame. Suddenly, the door swung open. Elena gasped, bracing herself to see someone standing there, but the hallway was empty. A cold gust of air swept through the room, chilling her to the bone. "Marcus, wake up!" she cried, turning to shake him. But the bed was empty. The sheets were cold. The reflection panic gripped her as she searched the room, calling Marcus's name. Her gaze landed on the mirror, and her blood ran cold. The reflection showed the room, but something was horribly wrong. Her own face was missing. Instead, Marcus stared back at her, his face twisted in terror. His mouth moved as though he were screaming, but no sound came through. Behind him, shadowy hands emerged, claw-like fingers gripping his shoulders and dragging him backward. His wide eyes locked onto Elena's as he vanished into the darkness. "Marcus!" she screamed, lunging at the mirror. She pounded on the glass, her fists cracking the surface, but it was too late. The mirror went dark. The shadows, Elena stumbled back, gasping for breath. The room felt different now, the air thick and suffocating. The door slammed shut, and the lamp flickered violently before going out. The only light came from the faint glow of the cracked mirror, the fractured shards casting eerie shadows across the walls. A low, guttural growl echoed through the room, making her heart leap. "Who's there?" she whispered, barely audible. The growl morphed into a chilling laugh, reverberating around her. Shadows pooled in the corners, twisting and contorting until they formed the silhouette of a figure. "Elena," the figure rasped, its voice a grotesque mimicry of Marcus's. "Stay with me." Her pulse raced as she stumbled backward. "What do you want? Where's Marcus?" The figure didn't answer. Instead, it lunged toward her, its shadowy form engulfing her in icy tendrils. She screamed, but the darkness swallowed the sound. The innkeeper's warning. When Elena woke, sunlight streaming through the window felt like a cruel joke. The door was ajar, and the innkeeper stood in the doorway, her expression grim. "What happened?" Elena croaked, her voice hoarse. "You should have left when you had the chance," the innkeeper said coldly. "Where's Marcus?" The innkeeper sighed, her gaze dropping to the shattered mirror. "He's gone," Just like the others, Elena stared at her in disbelief. You knew this would happen. Why didn't you stop us? The innkeeper's eyes softened briefly. The mirror? It's cursed. It feeds on love, pulling one soul into its world while trapping the other here to suffer. I tried to warn you. Elena's body shook with rage and despair. Why didn't you do something? The innkeeper turned and began walking away. Some things can't be stopped, she muttered. You'd best leave before it takes you too. The legacy of Room 6. Years passed, but Elena was never the same. She couldn't bring herself to talk about what happened that night. The weight of Marcus's disappearance haunted her every moment. The inn was eventually abandoned, its walls crumbling and its windows shattered, but locals still whispered of the curse of Room 6, warning travelers to stay away.